My name is John Lobell, and these are a series of very brief sketches of lectures I have available for cruises. These two are for an Adriatic tour. So the two lectures are Adriatic ports of call, and then a look at the historical backgrounds of the Balkans. And very interestingly, it's a place where the world divides. We'll see what that means. So our Adriatic ports of call, and this is for a cruise that would start at Venice and go up and down the Adriatic. Some of the most beautiful spots in the world, Kotor and Montenegro. And in each case, I'll describe what you want to do during the few hours that we have there. Typically, get up the hill and look down at our ship. And there's some beautiful things to look at in Kotor, the city walls, the windy road coming down the other side, church. And then in each case, I'll describe what restaurants you might want to stop at. And these will be the latest from TripAdvisor. And then in each case, I'll also describe important movies that were made in these locations. Sometimes not so important if it's not a big location. Corfu, very famous place and known among other things for the Durrell family. So Lawrence Durrell did the Alexandria Quartet, and his brother Gerald is a naturalist. Great TV series based on this you might have seen. And then we see there the Achilleon. This woman in the late 1800s built a villa that was a tribute to her son, whom she identifies with Achilles. And so the whole place is filled with references to Achilles, and then the movies made there. And then Brindisi, really cool place because it has these Trulli houses. And I was there as a student many years ago, and yeah, there are these cool houses. Well, they've caught on with the rich and famous. So, Hollywood, when you get the tour, they'll tell you which are owned by Hollywood celebrities you have heard of. Dubrovnik, often referred to as the most beautiful city in the world, competes with Venice. Of course, you want to take the cable car up for the fantastic views down and then walk around the town. They have older people in every morning go on their exercise walk and pick up every bit of litter. So what a beautiful place. And I'll describe what restaurants you want to consider. And some of Game of Thrones was filmed there a while back, and occasionally they still do some filming there because it's an old castle-like city. Split is known for where the Emperor Diocletian, the only emperor to retire and not be murdered or die while being emperor. So his retirement palace is there, and we can tour. That's what it looked like. We can tour the ruins. Basements are still intact. As an architect, really get into that stuff. And then again, what restaurants we want to eat at there and what movies were filmed there. Triklock Bay, not a lot to do there. You sit on the beach for a little while. Rovinj, and a very interesting church. You might want to climb up there. And a really great bar with pink umbrellas. And then the trip ends in Venice. I won't say anything about Venice because elsewhere I have 4 lectures on Venice. So you can see this full lecture on this website and on YouTube. Now the next lecture I can give pertinent to such a cruise is on the historical backgrounds of the Balkans. If you've ever been involved in business or academia, you've heard the term Balkanization, as groups build a little silos and don't get along with each other. That comes from the Balkans. So that's exactly where we're going to be. We'll look at the backgrounds of this area, and our key country is Croatia. We'll look at its history. Dalmatia, which is the coast. Yes, the Dalmatian dog is named after this. And the Balkan Peninsula, which includes Greece. And so the Balkans is a crossroads, meeting point, and dividing point of the Western classical and Middle Eastern worlds. It's where the Roman Empire divided. The Roman Empire got too big, and they said, let's split it into East and West. the split was right down the middle of where we are. There was eventually a split in the Christian church to become the Orthodox, Russian Orthodox and Greek Orthodox, and the Catholic Church. That split goes right through where we are going to be. And then there's the bumping up against each other of the Ottoman Empire and the Habsburg Empire, right where we're going to be. These poor people, for thousands of years, this is going on. The Cold War, Yugoslavia was was a little bit independent of Stalinist Soviet Union, but there's the division, between Greece and Yugoslavia and Albania. And then with the fall of communism, this Yugoslavia that had been held together by Tito gets involved in an ongoing civil war. And today, there are all these little countries. They don't do anything very productive, but they happen to be in one of the most beautiful spots in the world. So tourism accounts for 20% of the GDP of these countries. So you can see my full lecture on the Balkans and these historical backgrounds and how the world divides here on this website and on YouTube.